Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVS Audio in Roselle, New Jersey, and Daytona, Florida. So our friends over at Sinister Sounds sent us over their newest component set to review. This kit is designed for a road glide, but they have them both road glide and street glide. The reason they are vehicle specific is the tweeter bridge. So for the road glide, you'd sit here, mounts in the pod, clears, plenty of clearance for the excursion of the woofer. So it's a silk dome tweeter they went with on this one. The woofer is a high quality neo woofer, and they say it plays down to 50 hertz. Sinister Sound, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated companies in the motorcycle audio market. These guys have been around for a while, and me and the owner do stuff very similarly. He uses a DSP on every single build, and he RTA tunes every single bike that comes into the shop. He does a ton of research, very knowledgeable guy. We've spoken a bunch of times on the phone. I really respect what they do over there. One thing that makes Sinister Sound different than a lot of other companies is on the street glides for the 98 through 13, they actually offer pods. So this is a 14 and up. So if you have a 14 through 26 street glide, it has pods. If you have a 98 through 13 street glides, the fairing, the speaker's basically playing freer in the fairing, and that costs you a lot of mid bass. So this is the first company I've seen that actually offers their speakers in a pod, and you can add a pod to your bike that came without a pod. Another thing that they do that is different, I like, is they offer tuned ports with their kits. So on the street glide and the road glide, every kit that they sell comes with a QR code for an install video, and their install videos are nice, pretty thorough. So what they do is they show you how to take a hole saw and epoxy the port in place, so it helps the mid bass response. On the road glide pod, obviously it would go over here. On street glide pod, it would go over here. So they design all their speakers to be a drop-in fit. No cutting, no modification. And these guys don't just sell their speakers. They're an authorized dealer for Hertz, Cicada, Arc Audio. I just like the fact that, like us, they test everything before they install it, and then they figure out what's going to work best together and provide the best package possible with their clients. They're one of the first companies to offer a drop-in subwoofer enclosure. It doesn't take the entire saddlebag. I actually have one here. So we have this one here. This is one of their drop-in enclosures. So we had a client that upgraded to 10-inch mid-bass drivers, so that's how we ended up with these. We removed them and went with 10s. But we have a lot of mutual clients where they'll come in and we'll keep the enclosure and just swap out the woofer to something more powerful. What's nice about these enclosures, they don't take up the entire saddlebag. It only takes up about half the saddlebag, so it leaves you this space here for storage. They go to the back of the saddlebag, and the port has been tuned to the enclosure and the saddlebag space, so it sounds good. I don't know of any other company doing something like this. Every other company uses drop-in enclosure, takes up the entire saddlebag, and these guys have been doing this for at least 10 years. So they have a lot of time and money invested in what they do, a lot of calculations. So I have a lot of respect for these guys. Honestly, in my opinion, one of the most knowledgeable motorcycle audio guys in the industry. I believe they're really underrated. But this kit, he reached out to me, told me he wanted me to test them for him. He says that we should be really impressed. They spend a lot of time, money developing these, and then I could tell the bracket. Look how high quality this bracket is. And he even designed it so that the cable runs along the top, and it plug and plays with his crossover, so you can't get the connections confused. there's the passive crossover network that comes with it, so you can run these active if you want, or you can just run their crossovers. So comes completely heat shrunk, waterproofed. Being the nerd that I am, I had to cut it open to see what components he's using. So obviously he's using a high quality audio capacitor. He chose a 4.7 microfarad, which is very similar to the 3.3 that we use on our builds. 6 decibel per octave for the tweeter, high pass 6 decibel per octave coil for the low pass. I wasn't able to measure the millihenry of the coil because my inductance meter's in New Jersey. I'm here in Florida. But the cap has a 9,000 to 10,000 crossover point, which we put on the RTA, and then -3 point on the crossover is around 3,000 hertz. So plays clean from 5,000 to 10,000, and then hands off to the woofer at 5,000. So the woofer plays 50 to 5,000, then the crossover blocks the highs, then the tweeter plays 5,000 to 20,000, then the crossover blocks the lows. Nice thick circuit board. See how it doesn't flex? Very good for motorcycle. Nice thick quality cables, solid connections. It's a really high quality kit. I'm super impressed with the kit. Expect it to sound really good because every bike I've touched that they've done sounds good. So I'd expect nothing less from this setup. Very impressed with the fit and finish. How the tweeter bridge fits perfectly inside the channel to their speaker. Look at that, it drops right in. And it holds it snugly, and I haven't even put any screws in it yet. That's how tight the fit is. Very nice job. So we're gonna go ahead, get these installed on the bike and take a listen. I expect them to sound good, so let's just listen to it and make sure I'm right. Looks like the tweeter's -3 point is 3K. So flat response from 4,000 and up. So it should blend together beautifully with the 6-inch woofer. So it looks like the woofer's got a cutoff point at 5,000. Low pass. So my final thoughts on these speakers: really good speakers, really great sound quality. The tweeter's not aggressive. I knew going in before I tested them that they weren't going to be super loud, but that's not what he was shooting for. He was going for loud enough with a flat response with really good mid bass, really good power handling, and I think he hit the mark. These Really good speakers, worth checking them out. If you're anywhere near Sinister Sounds, stop by the shop, take a listen.